What's up, people? So this video is kind of more so for people who have been asking this question. If you're just watching this video and you have no idea what's going on, then feel free to skip over this video because you may not really understand. But if you want, stay tuned and you'll see everything. This video is more so to answer a big question that's kind of been floating around for the past couple of weeks and months, for a while now, that I've just kind of spent a lot of time evading and unanswering it, just because I didn't really know what to say. I didn't really have any clarity on the situation, and I was still just trying to figure out my own. So it kind of finally got to a point recently in my life that I was like, okay, I need to sit down and actually resolve this so that I can move on fully. So the question that's kind of been floating around for a while is Two Worlds over? Like, what happened to you guys? Where are you? Like, you guys were making videos so consistently, and out of nowhere, you guys just kind of stopped and fell off the face of the planet. And to kind of be frank and blunt, I guess, the answer is kind of yes. The answer is not kind of yes, it is yes. At least from my perspective. And hear me out when I say this entire video is based solely on me. It's based solely on what I experienced and how I got through things and coped with things. So there's always two sides to every story. There's multiple sides to every story, honestly. But this is only from me. So just keep that in mind if you're continuing to watch this video. Where do I begin? I mean, it's not really that hard. It's not really that complicated, but it is at the same time. I guess that's kind of what complicated means. The reason why I say yes is because Two Worlds, it started out as such a great thing, such a thing that I wanted to pursue, and evidently, if that's even a real word, got to a place where I personally just wasn't happy anymore. I was miserable going into every video. I was miserable connecting to work on songs. It was just so draining, and it became such a problem. Personally, I'm not a type of person to confront. I hate confrontation. I hate fighting. I hate arguing. I just want people to get along and move on. I want people to be happy and everyone to get what they want. But unfortunately, the world doesn't really work that way. The world is going to throw obstacles at you all the time and force you to think on your feet and make you fail. It's going to knock you down and show you that life is tough. And like that overall makes you into the person you are. But going into things, I'm not a confrontational person. I don't like conflict. And in Two Worlds, there was a lot of conflict. Don't get me wrong, there were a lot of good times, and there were a lot of moments that definitely felt so surreal and were so surreal and are so surreal. To look back and think of the things that we've done and accomplished, it's mind-blowing. Personally, like, I didn't start really paying attention to my voice, paying attention to who I was as a performer, as an entertainer, until 3.5 years ago. There are people who've been singing their whole lives. So going into music 3.5 years ago, or whenever that journey started, roughly 3.5, 4 years, it was like a whole nother, it was like starting over. Like, it felt like I was doing one thing and felt good about it, and then I decided to scratch all that, leave school, don't connect with any of the people that I connected with, and just follow a new journey and follow a new path. And it felt so right to do at the moment, but as things progressed and as things went down the line and months passed, years passed, experiences happened, it just kind of started to hit me more and more that I wasn't happy. I thought that everything that I wanted to do, I was doing. Everything that I got, but something wasn't happy. Something wasn't clicking. Something wasn't making me happy. And I was realizing that it was just, I wasn't being true to myself. I wasn't allowing myself to create the way that I wanted to do. And also, I'm the type of person that wants everyone, like I said, everyone to get along. So I want you to be able to voice your opinion, and I want you to not feel like your opinion gets shut down every time you say something. I want you to feel like your voice means something. So I will listen. I will do what I can to make you happy. And it would be nice at sometimes to feel that same way back. And it got to a point in the group and out of the group with people we worked with, managers, whatever, where it felt like everything that I was saying just kind of got brushed under the rug. Like, oh, he doesn't know what he's talking about. Or, oh, that's a cool idea, but no, we're not going to do that. And I hit a point where I had enough. Like I said, I don't like conflict. So I don't really I don't really express feelings really, like, just blunt. Like, just, I'm going to come out and just say things. Because I'm the type of person that, I'm sure you guys know people like that, or you are that person, where you like to really just kind of, like, you just push it down and just suppress it all, and eventually you just hope that it'll go away. And sometimes it does, but, like, really, it never does. It stays, it lingers until it builds up to a certain point and you explode and you don't know what to do because you start saying things and you start doing things and you're like, what is going on? Like, this is not who I want to be, but somehow you just can't really get away from it. And that's kind of the person that I used to be. And I definitely went into Two Worlds being. And it made me miserable. It made me so unhappy till a point that it built up for too long. And I knew while it was building up, I was like, I have to confront this. I have to confront this. I need to say this because it's going to boil over and I'm going to like want to just walk away. And that's exactly what I did. I'm not even going to lie. Like, it hit a point where I was so frustrated with everything that was going on, everything that was internal and external, that I was just like, I'm done. I don't want to do this anymore. This isn't fun. I'm not enjoying this. I don't enjoy creating anymore. And I lost the spark of what I knew I wanted to do in my life. I spent so long telling myself I couldn't do something and realized in a split second of walking away and not even walking away and quitting, but walking away and realizing what's more for me, what's better for me. I realized all of those doubts, all of that insecurity came from such a toxic place and a place that I knew I had to get out of. And I didn't know how to confront that within myself for the longest time. I would like to say 3 years, 2 years, 1 year. Whenever it hit me, I felt it hit me. But I didn't want to confront it. Like I said, I don't like to confront people, let alone myself. I feel really confident in my abilities to give advice to people. But when it comes to taking my own advice, I struggle. And I'm sure we all do in some areas. Some people may be like watching this and be like, no, I'm pretty much perfect. Well, I'm not that person, and I'll be the first one to admit it. So, without me rambling too much, I guess I just wanted to say I'm sorry to those who felt like we just dropped off the face of the planet. Because we did. There's no ifs, ands, and buts about it. There's no... I spent a long time these past couple of months being like, no, we're just, figuring some stuff out. And then eventually things are going to realign. Like, I just genuinely in this moment recording this video right now, I don't feel like that's going to happen. That's not something that I put on my radar. That's not something that I really want to go back to. I wouldn't be who I am today if it wasn't for Two Worlds, if it wasn't for the experiences, if it wasn't for you guys honestly supporting us and loving us and telling us that we can do it and pushing us to do it and motivating us every week, every other day, being like, yo, like this, and you guys are so, like, it's so surreal to just be able to have people that we don't necessarily even know spread love to us. Like, that's all I wanted to do, and I guess I felt like it hit a point where I wasn't able to do that. It felt like it was such a job. It was such a chore. Like, you always have to be on. You can't agree with things. You can't disagree with things. It was just like no one feels like they're able to be themselves. I don't know. I hit a point where I had enough. And it sucks because I felt what hurt me the most was that I felt that I let you guys down. I felt like all of the work that we put in was a waste. Which now, looking at it, 6 months down the line, I definitely know that it wasn't, because, like I said, I wouldn't be who I am today if it wasn't for you guys. I wouldn't be doing music. I wouldn't be creating. I wouldn't be doing YouTube videos if it wasn't for you guys and the passions you guys not only instilled in me from yourselves, but brought out of me. But I felt as if walking away from this situation and letting this go and just letting things go unanswered was such a disservice to you. I felt like you guys put money into us, time into us, effort into us. Like, I can't bring myself to just let you guys off and be like, see ya, deuces, and I'm never going to say anything ever again. And it was wrong of me. I felt like it was wrong of me to wait till this point to say anything. But also, out of all the thoughts and feelings that I had, I didn't want to make a video just being negative. I didn't want to make a video that just was like, oh, I'm bashing this person, or I'm bashing this person that we worked with, and like, things suck, blah, blah, blah. Like, I only want to put out positivity. I only want to spread that love. And I have all love for everyone that we've worked with. Everyone, Nick as well, Tyler, Mara, Alex G, all of the Jackie, all of the Epic, all of the YouTubers that we've met along the way and like have taken us in and shown us the ropes and like helped us grow. I have nothing but love for every single one of you guys. But I knew for myself that I couldn't stay in the same spot anymore. Like it felt like it was taking over me in a negative way, and it felt like I was taking on too many toxic things in myself, I guess, that I definitely lost sight of who I was, and it just felt too overwhelming and unbearable really to try to mend that. It at the moment that I realized that I wanted to do something else and I wanted to just focus solely on YouTube and like not make excuses anymore, I knew everything became clear. Everything that I had ever experienced in the past became clear. And I knew that I could do it. I knew that I was ready for it. And all of my self-doubts, all of my insecurities, they left me. And it was weird because in that moment I realized all of those insecurities were tied to one thing. And unfortunately, that was Two Worlds. And I put so much effort into it, so much time, so much money, so much everything. My life was I put into this thing that just felt as if it was anchoring me down and weighing me down. And it's weird, like, it hurts still to be like, my baby, like, I just abandoned. I just left it. But I felt, while I was making that decision, I didn't feel like I was leaving it. I didn't feel like, I mean, I just said that, but I didn't feel like I was leaving it or abandoning it. I honestly felt like I was growing. And I felt like my baby, instead of it just being a baby that you leave, it's really just kind of a stepping stone in your life and showing you like, hey, like you had some good times here, but now it's the next part of your life. Now you're supposed to expand and go. And like through that pain that I felt, I got reconnected with dance. I got reconnected with people that wanted to be around me, that wanted to support me, that I felt like my support and love for them lifted them up the same way theirs did for me. I felt like my voice was heard. I felt like I was letting their voices were getting heard. Like I felt like I was connecting in so many ways that for the last 3 years I didn't think was possible anymore because I spent so long like not in that zone. And it sucked. It honestly sucked. And I think that's the worst part. The worst part about it was literally feeling as if I'm supposed to be in this family, but it wasn't a family. It was just called a family. And I'm the type of person that takes families very seriously. Like if you say family, it doesn't, family to me does not mean, oh, we're just blood related. Like family means I care about you, you care about me, and bottom line, we love each other. Like it doesn't matter if we're blood related or not. Like I went in this thing believing I was in a family and came out of it feeling like I wasn't. And it felt like people were using people. People were just kind of always stepping over somebody else. It felt like the people that we were meeting, like once we stopped paying them, once we stopped doing things for them, they just disappeared. And somehow everything that we said was family now is gone. And that hurt me, I think, the most because, and still hurts me to this day because, like I said, I care about family. I don't just throw that term around because I know people aren't fortunate enough to have a family. To feel as if I have a blood family, a non-blood family, a professional family, it felt so surreal and so amazing, only to find out that 2/3 of those weren't real. It crushed me. It made me feel like I believed it for so long and followed it and did my absolute best to defend it every single day, but it just wasn't enough because I realized now that it wasn't real. So I was wasting my time. I was wasting my efforts. I was wasting my spirits. Like it was insane. But to stay on the positive side, it was all for a reason. I went through it for a reason because it made me who I am today. And that's the cheesy like answer, I know, but I've realized that it's not cheesy, it's real. Like that's the point. Life is going to throw you terrible things. Not saying this was terrible, but just it's going to throw you things. It's designed to show you your inner strength because you will come through it. You will push through it. And if you don't, it's imperative and important to connect with people that will guide you and help you through that rather than being like, well, you're on your own, figure it out. That to me is not a family. That to me says, yo, if you're surrounded with that, get out. Get out now. Now going through experiences where I've met those kinds of people, I'm now more clear. I have more clarity on connecting with people that serve that same purpose and serve that same path. Don't do it. My dad always says that there's two types of counseling. There's preventive counseling and there's corrective counseling. Preventive counseling is you driving down the road and you see a stop sign. You know what to do. You stop, because if you run the stop sign, you'll get a ticket. You might get an accident. You might kill someone. You might kill yourself. So you know, because someone has said, hey, when you see a stop sign, don't go. You stop, you look both ways, and then you can continue going. That's one type of counseling. Corrective counseling is you decide, I see a stop sign. You run that stop sign because you're like, I don't care. Let's do it. And you end up hitting someone. You totaled your car, and they end up in the hospital. Now you're in the predicament of like, oh my gosh, if only I would have listened to them, then I would have known what to do in this situation. But you learn from it. You learn, hey, I'm not going to run a stop sign. Some people don't learn the first time, and it takes them multiple times to finally get it. But let's say in one time you learn. That's corrective counseling. This, to me, was a corrective counseling thing, where there were so many signs saying, yo, like, hey, slow down. Like, just slow down. And I felt like I was running stop signs over and over again until finally I totaled my car. And I was like, well, this is to be the wake-up call. And unfortunately, in that wake-up call, all of the feelings that I was feeling bubbled over, finally came out. I said some things that I didn't mean. I said some things that I did mean. And I walked away. I felt as if, you know, there's no negativity right now. Like, everything's clear, everything's fine. This is not me bashing anyone. This is more so just kind of talking about myself and talking to myself, really, but you guys are watching. But it finally hit a point that I was like, you know what? I'm ready to just... And that's what I did. And since then, I haven't been happier. Like, I've been more connected with music, more connected with you guys. More people have come on board with what I'm doing. I've connected with old friends and best friends and making plans and doing things that I've always dreamed of doing with Two Worlds, but now actually putting forth the effort, like, they're coming true. And it's been so surreal, and just another reminder that this was what I was supposed to do. I was supposed to, when I hit that stop sign, when I ran that stop sign, hitting that car, with this analogy, hitting that car really just opened my eyes to everything that was going on. And I say all this to sum it up, because I know I rambled on. I didn't really plan this video out. I just kind of like put on the camera and started talking. But I felt like that's kind of what I wanted to give to you guys. I didn't want to like sit down and like really think about, let me think of the best way to say this, because I did that before, and I shot so many countless videos of this same video months ago, trying to explain the situation, but it would always come out like too wishy-washy, or like I'm trying to sugarcoat everything because I don't want to hurt anyone's feelings, and this. And I hope I didn't hurt anyone's feelings in this video, but I had to be real with myself. And real to me is like, yo, let me sit down in front of a camera and let me just say what's on my mind. And that's it. And if you like it, then you like it. If you don't, then you don't. And there's nothing really I can do about it, because I had to be honest with myself. But I say all this to say that I thank each and every one of you guys, because without you, Two Worlds wouldn't have been what it was. We wouldn't have gotten to do the things we've done, meet the people we met, had the experiences of our lifetimes. So first of all, thank you so much for everything. Second, I'm sorry for everything. I'm sorry for all the distance. I'm sorry for the lack of communication between this relationship. And on top of apologizing to you guys, I genuinely, and I just want you guys, I guess, to hear it, is like, I want to apologize to myself and my past self. And I'm sure my future self will watch this video and be like, you've learned so much. Or hopefully I now do preventive counseling instead of corrective. But I just want to say that I'm sorry that I feel like I let myself down, but through doing that, I've grown to be who I am today. And as long as I'm living, I'll be creating. And as long as I'm living, I'll be entertaining. And I never want to lose that factor ever again. This is what I feel like I'm meant to do. This is what I feel like I want to. This is not what I feel like. I know I want to do this. So I will continue to do this. So yeah, I hope that answers any questions that you guys may or may not have had. Again, if you have no idea what's going on, then thank you for bearing with me through this longer video. I know it's a lot different than the last videos that I've been releasing, but more videos like this won't happen unless you guys like these kind of videos. I can do more rants and stuff, but this was solely for answering this question, because I just know that it's been circling around for a while, and I've just been carefully evading the answer, because I just kind of been evading the answer in my own heart, and I just felt like finally I have to come to terms with it. So I had to just do this, one for you guys, but also for myself. And yeah, so like I said, thank you guys for watching, and bearing with me through all of this rambling. And I love you guys, and thank you for your support, and your love as well. And I will see you guys in the next video. Yeah. Okay.